noir plasma chrome bleed. Unlocking knowledge, inspiring innovation, empowering curious minds.
This website makes learning so easy. I found all my resources here.
Like what you share.
The human brain represents the most sophisticated biological structure known, functioning as the primary command center for the central nervous system. The structural integrity of the brain is maintained by a dense network of specialized cells, predominantly neurons and glia. The transition of these signals occurs at the synapse, a specialized junction where chemical neurotransmitters are released from the presynaptic terminal. Astrocytes provide metabolic support and maintain the BBB. However, they are also involved in reactive gliosis following injury.
Primary function: myelination of axons in the CNS.
Microglia, immune surveillance and phagocytosis, implicated in neuroinflammatory pathways of Alzheimer's. Glial cell type, primary function, clinical relevance, ependymal cells, lining of ventricles, CSF production, critical for maintaining cerebrospinal fluid flow. Let's look at the primary motor cortex, known as Area 4. Next to it, the primary somatosensory cortex in blue. The four primary lobes, frontal, parietal, temporal, and occipital, each host distinct domains of cognition. The frontal lobe is the seat of executive function. The parietal lobe, located posterior to the frontal lobe, integrates somatosensory information. It contains the primary somatosensory.
The temporal lobe is critical for auditory processing and high-level visual tasks such as face and object recognition.
The temporal lobe is critical for auditory processing and high-level visual tasks such as face and object recognition. It contains the primary auditory cortex and the occipital lobe, situated at the rear of the brain, is almost exclusively dedicated to visual processing, housing the primary visual cortex word.
Beneath the cerebral cortex lie several critical structures that modulate consciousness and autonomic function.
The amygdala is particularly involved in the detection of threats and the modulation of fear responses, while the cingulate gyrus plays a role in emotional regulation and pain processing. The human eye is an extension of the brain, both embryologically and functionally. It serves as the primary sensory organ for sight. The eye is composed of three primary layers: the outer fibrous tunic, the middle vascular tunic or uvea, and the inner neural tunic. Directly behind the iris lies the crystalline lens, which is suspended by zonular fibers attached to the ciliary body. The aqueous humor is a transparent, watery fluid that occupies the anterior and posterior chambers of the eye. In the posterior segment of the eye, between the lens and the retina, lies the vitreous humor. This is a clear, gelatinous substance. From the LGN, information is sent via the optic radiations to the primary visual cortex, located in the calcarine sulcus of the occipital lobe. However, the fovea is disproportionately represented in V1, a phenomenon known as cortical magnification, allowing for the processing of fine detail. The health of the brain and eyes is susceptible to a wide array of diseases, ranging from neurodegenerative conditions to vascular accidents.
I've been noticing some involuntary movements lately, especially in my hands. Is it progressing?
We understand your concerns. We have a plan to manage these symptoms effectively.
Ocular diseases often involve the disruption of the humors or the degradation of the retinal architecture. Glaucoma is a group of eye conditions that damage the optic nerve. Cataracts form when proteins within the lens denature and clump together, causing the lens to become cloudy and opaque. Age-related macular degeneration affects the fovea, leading to the loss of central vision while peripheral vision remains intact.
This cluster here suggests a significant correlation with the initial stimuli, yeah?
But only when we adjust for the temporal variance here. The coordinates are locked. Begin remote viewing now.
I'm seeing water, a large structure, perhaps a bridge or a tower near the water.
The cumulative data showed a small but statistically significant deviation correlated with participant intention, suggesting a subtle interaction between consciousness and the physical world. The delta waves are intensifying in the frontal lobe. This confirms the subject is perceiving the stimuli.
The role of neuroplasticity and altered states. One potential bridge between these fields is the study of neuroplasticity.
Notice the complex firing of the synapses, which then leads to the fluid mechanics within the anterior chamber of the eye.
The future of this field lies in the synthesis of traditional neurobiology with the rigorous study of anomalous phenomena.
This visualization represents the permeable boundary between human thought and the physical world. It's less a wall and more of a dynamic exchange.
All right, just keep looking straight ahead for me. We're almost done.
The fMRI results clearly indicate activity in the prefrontal cortex during the task.
But look at the spectral data here. The correlation seems weak. The data clearly shows a correlation between focus, thought, and energy fluctuation.
But look at the divergence here. It suggests an external factor.
Perhaps the force isn't generated, but channeled.
Like what you share.
Noir plasma chrome bleed. Unlocking knowledge, inspiring innovation, empowering curious minds.